Well, hello, Ryan.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I slept like a baby for like an hour and a half because it was a glorious nap.
I took a nap today too. I think it was only like 20, 30 minutes. Why was it so good? How did it feel?
Because
Give me some context.
the context was I came home a little late last night and I woke up early today, so I was very tired the entire day.
You've been busy, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
It was yesterday when you went to see The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
It was.
It was a late screening. Is that why you got home late?
It was a late screening, and then I went out with some subtle Asians, Bay Area people.
Did they go to The Last Black Man with you?
No, unfortunately, they're just dirty transplants, and they wouldn't understand.
Wow. Well, give me a breakdown of the movie. Like what theater you went to, who you went with, what snacks you got, where your seat was.
So I went with our friend Eric Toy at Metreon, and I have not seen a film in Metreon in so many years that when I entered the theater, I had no idea that they were leather reclining seats.
Yeah, that happened to me at the Metreon like a couple of months ago too. I was shocked.
Ooh, what movie did you see?
I saw Apollo 11, the documentary. It was amazing.
Well, I have a confession. I cannot tell what Apollo mission was what, because obviously there's probably been a lot.
Yeah.
Considering there's 11.
This was the unarchived footage, never before seen, of the Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin voyage to the moon and the landing. It was a great documentary. There's no interviews, no narration. It was just they just let the raw footage speak for itself and put it together really nicely. And it sang. Vincent.
Profiting off raw footage. Wow.
Yeah,
that is
excellent editing. Joyce was really tired going into it and was worried that when we saw the reclining seats, and she was worried that she would just pass out to a very hands-off documentary style. But the footage was just so good, and the pacing was so amazing with the music and everything. She was just like, right when the movie started, she just like completely woke up. It was like 100% alert. It was great.
I made sure when I was watching the film that my back part, the upper part of the seat did not recline. Only my feet were raised, but because I didn't want to get sleepy or anything.
You get a hamstring stretch from that.
Exactly. And yeah, I was debating on using it at all because I was like, what if I get too comfortable where I fall asleep? So I was debating on how comfortable I wanted to get.
Did you get popcorn or Coke?
No snacks, just 100% attention on the film.
Yeah, you only want to engage the eyes and the ears, and you don't want to engage the mouth or the nose. When you're watching an art film with so much prestige as The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my spoiler-free take on the film.
Mm-hmm.
My one line that I'll use to describe the film is, "What did I just watch?" And that sums up my thoughts about the film. Because, and I'll explain why.
Is it more abstract? It feels like it's more abstract, expressionist.
I'm a very plot-driven person.
I'm a very non-plot-driven person.
So that might be the film for you, because I was very. So it was light on plot, and at every point in the film, I was thinking about whether there was a whether these scenes are a metaphor for something.
Yeah.
So I was like, am I missing something here? And considering that we're both SF natives,
Yeah.
I was actively looking for some kind of symbolism or metaphors for something. So, and I couldn't really find it. So,
did you want more literal conflict between transplants and the protagonist? Or?
Well, that's what I thought the film would be, because I was reading this critic review where it was saying like it's so obvious that what the film's agenda was and who they were raving against, or so I was like, there's got to be some overt conflict between this guy and transplants, but
yeah,
it was more of a internal conflict or whatever,
a mood piece. Yeah.
So I was very confused.
Like a lot of it was built around like that Victorian home.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much
what that represents.
Exactly what it represents. And I guess one of the themes that I did take away from the film was, does San Francisco really belong to any of us? Or is it just, does it just exchange hands like money?
Yeah. It's understood that a place like DC would exchange hands because that's the DNA of our political system, I guess. People get elected, people get replaced.
People get elected, people get replaced, people get bought out.
Yeah. Was that baked into the narrative, like the origins of our city? I would say in some ways, yeah, because you had people, it was a gold rush town. So you stay in San Francisco, make your money, pine for gold, strike it rich, and then you return back to wherever you were from, back east. But I mean, it's not like that has to be the story of the city from the 1800s, and that has to stay true all the way through the 1900s up until now. Because it also is a city where people could permanently be, because it's like a natural harbor. Like generations of portsmen and longshoremen. That could have been the story of our city too, as opposed to like a transplant city, a tech city.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Obviously, there's like literal ownership where you own your house.
Yeah,
and then I can definitely see like how, in like an emotional sense, yeah, there's demographic shifts and there's a loss of connection to the city, like what's going on right now with a lot of tech workers moving in and such.
Yeah. At some point, somebody in charge has to make a decision, because we used to have the docks in the Bayview used to be thriving and a huge place of business and place of commerce, but eventually the governing bodies at the time decided that's not where the money is for our city anymore. And then those Bayview docks basically have been deserted, and the historically black jobs just left and they went to Oakland.
So, yeah, and they touched upon that a little bit, where one of the characters, the main character, he says his grandfather was came for the jobs during World War II and built the house. So that was a bit of a central point in the film.
Yeah. And then I think it's just the fact is that San Francisco is tiny. And the interesting thing is LA is like 4 or 5 San Franciscos. So you can have, I feel like it's, if you're in West Hollywood, and then if you go to East LA, or if you go to Venice, or if you go to, I don't know, just name any, Culver City. It's all part of LA, so it's all exciting. Whereas in San Francisco, we're a little too snobby about what is the proper San Francisco. So if you go to Millbrae, you don't feel like you're part of a I'm not like you don't feel like you're part of a vibrant culture anymore. But I think that can change, where instead of it being about San Francisco, it could be just about the Bay Area as a whole. And then, like, it's just as exciting to be in Millbrae, because maybe like in like 50 years, Millbrae will be almost like not a suburb, but like it's almost like a borough, like a New York City borough. Just like how New York has all those boroughs, and then they can
boroughs of the Bay.
Yeah, instead of like having tiny neighborhoods within San Francisco proper be interesting and have their own cultures, it's just gotten to the point where it has to be the Bay. Problem is it's so hard to get around the Bay Area. It's a lot harder to.
Art is really crappy.
Yeah, it's just a lot harder to transport around the Bay Area than it is to transport around New York City. So it's like the vibrant development isn't going to be as easy here as it was over there, and kind of is in LA. But LA is just, it's like way shittier to get around, but there's no bridges. I guess that's the only benefit. That like you don't have to cross a bridge, but you have to sit in your car a lot longer. I don't know.
I think that was pretty much my own takeaway from the film, or the only theme that I kind of saw, because there wasn't, to be honest, there wasn't that. I thought there would be a lot of like scenes making fun of like transplants or like white hipsters or whatever, but it wasn't that much. So it kind of left me wondering if I was missing some kind of theme or other.
It's much more like a spiritual connection to real estate, property, or
so I came into the film I heard some really good things about the film too, but after watching it, I was a little perplexed. They definitely had a lot of use of the camera, like a lot of like cutting in and like zooming in and zooming out, and a lot of editing at really specific points to convey a point or convey a scene, especially, and felt like they used the music pretty well. There was a scene in the film where a guy is putting on like I don't know what that it's called. It's like a play, but he's just doing a solo act. Is it like a monologue? I don't know what it's called, but that was probably my favorite part of the film.
Yeah.
So it was really powerful. Although, yeah.
I guess it's more the things to appreciate. It's kind of more the things that I go to movies for, as opposed to how you said you're more of a plot-driven guy.
Yeah, I guess
it comes down to that. What about Eric? He's a Star Wars. He was at Star Wars Disneyland opening day.
He kind of felt the same thing, where he says he's a very, he needs some exposition or needs things explained to him. I mean, I'm not saying that in like a negative way or like pejorative way, but sometimes if the movie is too like artsy, we say like, oh, too artsy or too deep. It's sometimes I don't understand right off the bat like what this movie's trying to convey. Yeah, and I was like actively looking for like themes too, or like metaphors, but I couldn't really like find them. So I was thinking like, I'm a native. I should be connecting with this film really close, like really strongly, but I wasn't. So that was kind of disappointing that I didn't have that connection.
Yeah. I guess it's always, I don't know, it's more of a feeling or a mood. A lot of times when I do watch like an art movie, I don't really necessarily look for metaphors. I just think like, oh, that really works, or that really doesn't. Like something about this works, and I can't necessarily say why it works or what works about it, but it just kind of strikes my fancy in a particular way. Tickles me.
What was a pretty artsy film or creative film that you felt that about?
I finally watched Lost Highway for the first time, like
what's that about?
2 days ago. So that I feel like that's a good example, because any like David Lynch film is a good example. But at the same time, David Lynch throws in his like twists and plays with narrative. So I feel like that would probably be a better watch for you, because because the narrative is always fractured, and then you kind of have to reassemble the narrative because it's told through a certain perspective. So I feel like that probably gives a little more like plot stimulation for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the old David Lynch movie, and essentially he is exploring the mindset of somebody who commits a murder. He was kind of fascinated by how O.J. Simpson could commit 2 murders and still basically like act or convince his own mind that he's innocent. So it's kind of like an exploration of like, what does the mind do to convince itself its innocence and like move on from the traumatic experience of murdering another other humans. And so there's a lot of surreal qualities to the movie, a lot of strange things happening from the perspective of the killer. And then you watch it from a jumbled way, and then it helps you piece together what was real and what was fake, and what was fantasy and what wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of like how you didn't really like Twin Peaks. It has that campy, kitschy, melodramatic tone to it.
Well, for Twin Peaks, yeah, I wanted to know more about the mystery, I guess. But yeah, the campiness and the kind of the corniness, I wasn't sure if that was like intended, or if that was just like the style that they were going for.
Yeah.
So
I think this was more. It wasn't trying to be comedic. It's more foreboding and melodramatic, as opposed to overly quirky people like in Twin Peaks. But so I could have seen Last Black Man like basically a week ago, and I was presented with a choice, and just given my mind space, like I knew that Last Black Man would be so demanding. I opted for Toy Story 4 instead.
The simple pleasures.
Yeah, just went to the Kabuki. Got a tub of popcorn, got some nachos and a Mr. Pibb, and I cried so hard at Toy Story 4. It was just so good. Yeah, I cried so hard. It was so fun. Oh my god.
Quite a stoic guy sometimes, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, there's certain things get me. I feel like I'm most likely to cry at a movie. Maybe like I'll tear up if I really appreciate something aesthetically beautiful that they're executing. Or as with Toy Story, it's like a combination of how connected the emotions were and how, like, within the circumstances they created, how they were able to achieve depth in such a compelling way for me. It made me cry.
Was it really emotional?
It was, yeah, it was. Because it's always about the bond between a toy and a child, and the bond between the toys and their family. And then also how toys have this burden to where they have agency, they can actually take action, but the child can never know how much the love and attention and care they've given to the child. And then they just eventually get forgotten by the child. They have to, be able to let go and accept it. So, yeah, just the way they played on those, and the way they leveraged that feeling. I wept.
I'm actually really surprised that they made another Toy Story, because here's the ironic part. We actually remember we actually saw Toy Story 3 at the Kabuki way back.
Yeah. Did I go with you at the Kabuki? For some reason, I imagined going at the Balboa.
Oh, it's the Kabuki.
Yeah.
I thought that was a very solid ending.
Yeah, I felt like that was a perfect ending. Yeah,
for sure. In Toy Story 3, where I forgot the kid, but where he goes off to college and they have to give the toys away. Like, that's a really good ending. And so I was like, wow, they made another Toy Story. So I was just really surprised.
Yeah, it's the natural progression of Andy. And it was in real time. He was our age when the first Toy
which is
Story.
super crazy.
And then we went to college the same year as him. And then, And so when I first saw the Toy Story 4 commercials, I'd kind of just block them out. And then I would see another Toy Story commercial and I'd be like, oh yeah, there's going to be a Toy Story. And then I would just forget and just like, whatever. And then, but they kept advertising. And then I heard good things about it. And then it just kind of broke me down. And then I went.
I gotcha.
I'm getting a phone call.
All right. Put it on speakerphone so we can hear.
Hello? Hey. Breadcrumbs. No. Where'd you leave it? No, I haven't really gone in the pantry at all for a while. Oh, you found it? All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
No, my dad couldn't find the breadcrumbs he was saving.
Well,
in the pantry.
You can link him to your breadcrumbs piece, and I think.
Yeah, that is funny because I was
And
I was in a rice zone, and then I get the call, and it's about breadcrumbs. That's funny.
Just to call back to your piece, a wonderful piece.
And I need to write something new, but I'll probably put a video up because I got my footage back for that. You remember when I was telling you how he was like, if you delete clips, find out.
In camera edit, damn it.
Yeah. The thing is, a more knowledgeable man, like it was I already showed my stuff and it went through smoothly and it worked. A more knowledgeable man explained that with certain consumer cameras, if you change the file name or mess with it like on the desktop, then it won't play through. But obviously I knew not to do that.
Did you game the system where and was like, oh, I didn't change anything?
I don't know, because it's a weird space, because by doing it the way I did it, it probably required more time and effort, because you're nitpicking every shot.
And if you're a perfectionist, that might take a lot of time.
And then there was some where I could tell, obviously, that they didn't delete clips. There were others that were really, really good. Probably one or two others that were really good. And to achieve that level, I also kind of assumed that they did multiple takes also and picked the best one. And were smart enough to realize that it wouldn't affect the playback. But yeah, I don't know.
Because I've heard your glowing review of Toy Story 4, I will definitely try to watch that. If I get a chance.
It's definitely worth it. Were there any other topics you wanted to hit on? I know
none for now. I'm interested to hear your run through of your list.
You got cut off. What'd you say?
I said none for now, but I'm interested in hearing your list that you've conjured.
the list that I've compiled.
Yes.
Well, remember how we were talking about being critical of the in-your-face liberal?
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on the in-your-face liberal? Or have any notes or ideas?
Funny enough, I was thinking as I was heading downtown today, and I was riding the ad in Judah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, what is the anatomy of the liberal mind? Just really abstract thinking that make me sound like a dirty conservative.
Do you call yourself? Do you consider yourself a liberal?
No.
What do you consider yourself?
I'm a dyed-in-the-wool communist, Ryan.
Well, is that okay? So that's not even in the family. It's like more extreme. Would you describe it as more extreme than a liberal?
Well, I would say that my differences, what I ascribe the differences to is, Marxists, communists, everyone on that side, they want not capitalism.
Whereas a liberal wants a more accessible capitalism.
Exactly. A more accessible, diverse, friendly, whatever you make it to be.
Capitalism.
Exactly.
Okay. But there are commonalities, or there are through lines from liberalism to communism. Very tiny ones.
I think there's the commonalities are, at least what I can just bring up really easily and quickly, is the commonality is fighting racism and promoting diversity, but the intentions of that are different between the two camps.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe the rub is that when liberals talk about diversity, it's on the terms of expression and being seen, as opposed to diversity in economic terms.
I think that's part of it. There's in terms of liberalism, to me, the diversity is like how many people or what kinds of people can access our economic system, can succeed. So they want a gay man, they want a black man, they want like a trans female. So the diverse, it's just a more, like you said earlier, a more accessible capitalism that's open to different races, genders, and sexual orientations.
So you want, like, they want the CEO, but you would prefer a worker-owned business as opposed to a CEO.
Right. And having consistent values and morals regarding like racism, diversity, because it's not just the CEO is of this color or this origin. It's
like, I was once a worker and now I'm above the workers.
Exactly. It's like, why have a CEO in the first place? So talking more about the exploitative relationship and economics rather than just changing the face of like a generic white man to like a black female or whatever. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I was joking about the black female politician. I'm like afraid to just go into that though. Which is a sad thing.
I think no, yeah, exactly. I mean, we should explore this. It's juicy and controversial.
I know, because there is the banal. I guess it's like the banal minority politician that kind of uses the same talking points. You know what? I grew up in those projects over there, and
oh yeah,
but then I don't know if I could do it right now. Yeah, I'm just not in that. I'm not in that wave, that groove, right?
Yeah. I'll give some examples that could possibly assist you in making additional feedback. I was watching the first debate, the part one of the Democratic primary debates. So there's so many candidates that they had to split into 2 days.
Yeah.
So in the first debate, just like you said, there's a guy who's, I think he's the senator of Delaware or New Jersey. His name is Cory Booker.
Yeah.
He does the typical, I'm African American. I served a majority black
and brown community. Yeah.
Like, oh, my constituents know what it's like to, XYZ. So just playing off. I don't know if it sounds bad to say I'm just playing the race card, but it really just sounds like, the liberal pandering of like, oh, my group, my racial group or my my social group is in this rung of the ladder, and then I have to keep emphasizing it to like get brownie points.
And then there's the brownie points are from the liberal white people that
exactly
think it's that we should go to South Central and extend our hands and shake people's hands, and their intention is that they're I'm not it's a weird, I'm not afraid of black people, I have black friends
exactly
kind of thing. And then it kind of it turns into a visit to, it's like they're treating it like a visit to the zoo or something. And like an Instagrammable, like, and then they're gonna put on their Instagram.
Instagram and say something to be like, and their caption would probably be like, I'm so grateful to extend a helpful hand to communities of color across a great city, or something like that. Something corny and stupid.
Yeah. Then it comes down to, what are you actually doing? But it's like, are you marching? Are you picketing?
Right. It feels very paternalistic. Like,
are you part of an actual? What? No, I'm not. No, sorry. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was saying, like what you said, going to South Central or like talking about oppressed communities. It sounds very paternalistic, where you guys are helpless and we're the ones. It's kind of like white savior, but in this case, it's liberal savior. But I guess most our conception of liberal is like the white educated person or whatever, or that's the people that make up what we conceive as liberals. But
the reality with Cory Booker is, are you enacting the correct thing? Is your heart in the right place, or are you, because he's a Wall Street guy, really.
He definitely is. And he famously voted against, I believe, this legislation that would have lowered drug prices, because it would have allowed, I believe, imported drugs from Canada, and he famously voted against it. So he could have helped his constituents by being for it, but he voted against it.
Access to medication that's more affordable.
Yeah, exactly. And then because like you said, he's close to Wall Street and corporations, probably influenced his vote. So
it's like, but then the question is, does that type of politicking help him position himself in a place where he can then make more real changes? Is that just a compromise along the way? And that's where it gets kind of confusing.
I don't know, but then that gets into like 3D chess, 4D chess territory, where you like do some crappy things and you kind of have to, and then you try to justify it, where like, oh, but I'm doing it for the greater good or whatever. I personally don't buy it.
So what's your philosophy is stand by what you stand for.
Exactly.
Inspire people to put you in position for the exact things that you truly believe in.
Yeah. Basically, your heart's got to be for average working man, and not
create a true movement that inspires people to mobilize.
Grassroots mobilization.
Yeah. Instead of playing up, it's organizing
organizing from below instead of sucking up. I don't know if is that a good example?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really good example.
But another
It
example.
is sad though, because but Bernie got sabotaged.
Very sad.
From people that suck up.
Yep.
So
another example. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. What was your other example? Because I feel like that's only one example.
Another example, it was still in the debates, but this is where the liberal thing comes into mind, where you're just, I feel like it's just demeaning towards actual like people, like oppressed people, like minorities and such, because it just feels what some people are doing. It's just so petty and small. So for example, Beto O'Rourke, you probably heard of him, right?
Yeah.
He was
we had a whole thing on him.
Oh yeah, we had a whole thing where we recorded how stupid he sounded.
Yeah.
But in one point of the debates, he was answering a question in English, and then suddenly he started talking in Spanish.
Well, then he used like English for like machine.
Yeah, he used English for like medicine, or it was so.
Yeah.
It was
medicina.
So obvious.
He just couldn't say medicina. He had to say medicine.
It was so his accent was so bad. It was like, oh my god! But it's just obvious pandering again. So in some ways, I think, do liberals just use use people of color or minorities or working class people? Do they just use them as like a stepping stool to like personal gain instead of actually like serving these oppressed communities, or just have such a low opinion of them?
Castro went after him for not voting to repeal a section on a bill that would have provided real solutions for the refugees or immigrants that they were debating. Like that Julian Castro guy. Just like, if you really were about the right things, you would have easily joined me in repealing this section of this bill. And then it would have, like, on a technical basis and a literal basis, it would have automatically implemented some of the changes that you're claiming to be about. So,
exactly.
There are ways to really read somebody. So are they being fake? Are they not being fake? Are they about the right things? Or are they just pretending?
Exactly. And we're not that stupid where, let's just say we're watching a debate and we see someone speak Chinese or Cantonese or whatever and think that, oh my God, they can get like Asian vote by just speaking Cantonese. Like, that's so demeaning. And it's like, we're not that simple or stupid.
Here's another thing that gets complicated. Say you're in the Mission and it's, the neighborhood where a bunch of white liberals have displaced Latino families and all their history and tradition and love for that neighborhood. You start a business on Valencia Street, and your business primarily thrives off of white clientele that's, liberal, but it's also, they're putting a strain on families that have been there before. And you slap on like a Black Lives Matter sticker or like immigrants and
refugees. Welcome here.
Yeah. So what do you do? Because it's like, you can't fault them. Like, I would love to own a small business too. It seems lovely. You're your own boss. You get to create your own universe, and you get to make a living and sustain yourself and your family off of that. But then it just gets so complicated because you want to be about the right things, but you're also you also want to support your family. I don't know. It's a weird
I
phenomenon.
feel like that is a very hard situation. But I think specifically in this situation that you mentioned, I'm thinking it feels really weird because, you go in there, you make your business, you serve white, particularly maybe like a white liberal clientele.
Yeah.
And, you slap on that sticker. But it's like, to me, that sounds like, instead of saying like, immigrants, you guys, you minorities, you have agency. Oh, suddenly I'm in the position of power where I can say like, oh, you're now welcome here. Yeah, I don't know, just morally, it feels really off to me. I can't really.
It's like you're still functioning as the gatekeeper, the barrier.
Yeah, you moved into this
who has the keys, who locks the door, who pays for a security system. I don't know, who replaced a different business that might have been owned and operated by a family that's been there for generations. And now you're there.
Yeah, exactly. It feels really strange to me. And you're still like profiting off, and you're essentially in there. I mean, obviously we live in a capitalist system, so if you're not making money, you're gonna, obviously you're starve and die. But at the same time, it's like, it's like you're profiting off. I don't know. I don't know if I'm heading in the right direction, but you're still profiting off those people. So it doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, I feel like what you have to do is, I don't know, hire people who are historically from that community, or like hire people, like a lot of businesses might hire like have an agenda to hire ex-convicts, or, people who go to the high schools or go to the schools from that community. That I feel like that should be a responsibility. But it's like, if you focus too much on upholding that responsibility, you might just like go out of business.
I think it doesn't have to be where, I hired a Latino guy. I must, I'm so like, I think that's still like the liberal mindset, like, oh, look at me. Like I have a black friend, or like I hired a Latino worker. In my view, go ahead.
And then that Latino worker is just like constantly uncomfortable with how he's being treated while at work the whole time.
He's the poster boy, like, oh, hot, like, oh, look at me, like I'm
people
so
are
great.
Way too nice to me right now. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm the white, like, I have a Latino worker. I totally know what's going on with the Latino community.
Yeah. They're always asking him, where should we go for lunch today? So it's another What's your favorite taqueria?
But I think in my view, it's just, it can't be as banal as just hiring a Latino worker, but maybe at the local level, just trying to get involved with like going to neighborhood meetings or community meetings at schools and seeing what's up and what the people in the neighborhood, what their concerns are, and trying to make it, trying to address them.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I feel like when we first were talking about this idea, it was like a funny topic, but when it comes down to it, and when you're like recording this for the public, you kind of have to be more serious about this kind of stuff. I think it comes down to like, we're always going to be talking about the ideal, and we're never going to actually live within that ideal. There's always going to be kind of discomfort or struggle or whatever. Without this kind of conflict and confusion, we wouldn't really be able to appreciate the achievements down the line. It's always going to be messy.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about what you said about the, the white liberal going to the, let's just say example, like going into the Mission and opening up their store. I felt like when I go into the mission. I feel like I already see that because you might see like restaurants or like bars. They're just hipstery, and inside there's no like Hispanic people at all. It's just like young millennial techies. I feel like that's already happening.
Yeah. It already has happened. And then it's like, well, what do you, if you're taking the responsibility to interact with the community, that's kind of all you can really do. You know?
Yeah.
Like you said, going to those meetings, hiring people from the community. I mean, even though that's kind of like that's already on like shaky ground. Like, hey, I hired like 3 Latino dudes, but at least you're having that interaction. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the way the world works. Better than nothing. But maybe as a Marxist, you feel like there is this ideal that is gonna be achieved, given the way Marx outlines history and how history and society is supposed to take place, and like what stages are supposed to take place.
Yeah, I think there's that. That's interesting that you brought that up because we can go on and I can go on and on, but I think just in short, something is better than nothing. Like that will work in the short term, but if you're, it has to, the somethings have to lead to an eventual bigger thing or like end goal instead of just doing something for the sake of doing something,
Yeah. Do you feel like Marxism will only function as an ideal and that it will never be truly achieved? And you're like okay with that?
I'm not okay. I don't think I'm okay with it.
I guess you can't be okay with that. Yeah.
But the thing is, Karl Marx never said like, this is how the ideal society will look like, and this is how we're going to get there. I guess he was just more concerned about understanding what capitalism is and why he has all these issues. He wasn't very, I don't think he was very prescriptive, but he was more analytical of what stage of world history we're living in.
Yeah. But he was able to describe the future world history to an extent. Like, this is what socialism is going to look like, and then this is what communism. Yeah. It hasn't happened yet, but this should be the natural course of things based on my analysis.
That's exactly right. Like, if his predictions of what's going on is correct, then it could possibly lead to this,
Yeah, and if anything, that's the North Star that you want to fight for.
Exactly. Yeah. Not reform for the sake of reform, but reform knowing that reform is just a piece in the larger goal that has to be strived for.
On a lighter note, I don't know if you have much to make fun of, but like, how about the do you follow like music festival culture much?
No, but I really do want to. I really want to know more about it. So I think you can. This is the perfect segue.
Well, it's definitely it's kind of in the same vein, but it's like it's a breeding ground for a white chick that pays $275 to go to this concert wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt or like whatever the equivalent of it, immigrants are welcome t-shirt at the festival. It's just very funny.
Is that like a perfect place for them to do that? Because it's just so like.
And then they're also like watching A Tribe Called Quest like perform. They're like cutting edge hip hop in front of like a sea of white faces.
And A Tribe Called Quest has been doing their thing for a long time.
Yeah, no, just like spitting lyrics about displacement or gentrification, to like a whole audience of gentrifiers. It's really funny.
I guess. Oh my! I thought of another example again. It's not as like somber, but today I was in downtown and all I was trying to do was get to a muni station to get home.
Yeah.
And I accidentally, I stumbled upon the Pride Festival. Complete accident, because I was walking through Civic Center and then I was like, wait, oh shit, it's Pride. Because there's just so many people. Yeah, a lot of people wearing, just the rainbow flag and the stickers and all that. And it made me think of what you were saying. Like, are the people just like slapping on the sticker and be like, oh, look at me, I'm for the gay community? Or is there like, are they doing something,
Like a good excuse to get drunk today.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking about what you were saying about, the Black Lives Matter sticker or the immigrants are welcome sticker.
Yeah, like another ultimate primal level of the pride is like, I'm going to be an ally so that maybe I can hook up with like a hot liberal chick. Like...
So I could like grab someone's ass or like make out with someone.
Or even like, meet someone to hook up with. Like there's probably a lot of straight liberal girls that are going to be out there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, play them at the Pride Festival. What else? Twitter. You're not on Twitter.
So Ryan, you
asked me to make a Twitter about liberal battleground.
Ooh, do tell.
Well, I don't think it's really. I don't know how much I can go into it if you.
Let's see. I want to hear the funny things.
And then it's also kind of a tired topic already, but you just haven't been on it. It's just a lot of nitpicking, essentially. So you don't really even know the structure of it, huh? Well, you can tweet and then people reply.
Remember that one time I was at your place and I made a Twitter? I haven't made a single post. I've just been not thinking about it.
You don't need to post. It's about following. It's the thing.
Tell me like some of the, like, because I don't know much about it, tell me like one or two really hilarious or like funny things that you saw.
I feel like it's more a depressing space, honestly, because it brings out the worst in people. They nitpick everything. Every joke or consideration or whatever is put under scrutiny. It's just the constant arguments, constant just back and forth. People that obviously just aren't on the same page arguing, and it's just a bunch of people who have like different definitions of the same words and then arguing about it and not realizing that they just have different definitions for the same words. It just like goes on and on and on and on. And then there's just armies of people that, if somebody does something wrong, then their name's trending on Twitter, and it's just hundreds of thousands of people commenting on whatever they did wrong, stupid it is and terrible they are and how they should be fired or boycotted. And it's just like, oh.
It just seems really easy to do because it's like it's like the internet is so easy to just hit reply.
Yeah.
I guess that feels it a little bit.
It's really nothing new. Yeah, I think we don't really even go in on that. I just feel like I want you to get on them.
I'll try.
If you're able to use it just to like be exposed to new information or be exposed to like fun content, then it's a fun place to be. I pretty much only go on to follow that. But then I also have, it kind of bleeds into.
I guess I read people's tweets. Obviously, when people post tweets on Facebook, I see it, and I think it's really funny or amusing.
Just go in for like the entertainment culture. If there's an entertainment culture that like follow, probably like the stuff that you follow on Reddit, then go for that.
Have you heard the term clapback culture?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even if you're if you want to like get in on, like, I don't know, Star Wars or, you know, gamer stuff, there's always two sides that are always clapping back. So even though I go on and
That's great.
even though I go on NBA Twitter for fun, there's always like there's somehow like gonna be two warring philosophies within like a sports entertainment entity. And just like, okay. So then, like, even like, I'll go for the laughs, and then there are just people just arguing about like who has a better legacy, or like where's what
Ron
it
versus
means
Jordan.
that somebody's going here. Is this person misunderstood? And like who's in the wrong, and with this, how this injury happened, and like whose championships are legitimate. That's just the stuff that you gotta avoid. If you know the right people that just kind of watch everything with a chuckle and are humorous, and that's that. Yeah, so I feel like this is not really a realm to like go into. It's a little tired, and it's a little like, yeah, sad.
That's great. But yeah,
I guess I don't know if there's anything else. I mean, one other thing I had is confrontation, like people who's like, maybe you're riding the bus and you overhear someone making some comments that you disagree with, you know.
Is this still on the topic of Twitter and clapback culture, or are we shifting to something else?
Kind of the same idea, or just like the annoying, like the liberal that pissed off enough people to get Trump elected, you know. Like, I feel like liberals pissed off enough people on Twitter to get Trump elected, and then liberals pissed off enough people like in person to get Trump elected.
Yeah, I guess
because it's like a nitpick thing. If you hear somebody saying something you disagree with on the bus or in public or online, you're gonna nitpick it and analyze it, and it just like
it eventually leads to someone calling someone a racist.
Yeah, it's like, are we better off? It's kind of like what's the greater good? Is the greater good just to ignore that shit? Or is the greater good like, I have to stand up for everything that I believe in at all times?
Well, I think to continue that, I think we were talking about, I don't know if we want to keep going back to liberal, but this is a more hilarious point where, remember I was talking about, like, you're talking about nitpicking, and one thing that grinds my gears, kind of related to that topic, is in video games. Let's just say, I was talking about like in historical video games like World War II, like suddenly you see the protagonist is like a black female, or like, or you're fighting Germans but they're like black, or like, you know, or like obviously historical things in games or movies, and it just seems like, well, are they doing this for the sake of diversity?
Yeah, it's not proportional. Like, it's okay if it's proportional, but then it kind of, or also like, what's your intent? Is your intent to recreate historical moment through a video game? If your intent is to make like a sweet Asian version and you just like really lean into it, you know, then that'd be all. Or like a sweet black version.
Yeah.
And you just really lean into whatever culture you want to lean into in a smart way. That's pretty cool. Like, if there's some like cool like Asian version of a classic war game, and then they kind of highlighted certain cultural aspects in like a really fun way, you know?
Yeah.
You got to lean in all the way.
But yeah, go all in. If you want to go in, go all in.
But these games, it's like a half-hearted.
Yeah,
it's not that we're against just throwing in a token. Well, we are against throwing in it, but we're not against the token. We're against the way that the token is being used.
Exactly. It's like, if your idea is to make a film highlights that culture, just go all in and don't be like, I'll sprinkle in some females here, some black people there, some gay people there. It's like, then I feel like it's really obvious.
Yeah, without any true intent or agency or whatever. It's kind of like a good metaphor or analogy is like if you're shooting video. The difference between like professional video and amateur video. Professional makes every camera movement or every zoom or pan or tilt like intentional. Whereas an amateur might be like, oh, what's over here? Oh, let's move back to the left. Look up and look down, and it's just there's no thought that goes into it. If you're gonna do something that like disrupts historical accuracy, or you're gonna do something that disrupts how things really are proportionally, then you have to do it with some intention.
Really good example. I like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a break. I gotta go pee.
All right.
Ooh, I'm back.
Welcome back. Welcome back, good sir.
I feel like this is a very like broadly academic, serious podcast today. Was there any, very dense topics today?
Some heavy hitters.
Was there anything like current that like maybe like from the second night of debates that you wanted to share? I only watched the first night.
I'm the same, man. I was trying to watch on YouTube, but the stream was it cut off every 10 seconds, and I was so mad.
So you weren't able to really see your man Bernie's performance?
No, that's why I'm trying to avoid social media. It's because I don't want to hear like, oh, this guy did great, this guy did poorly, until like I dedicate some time to sit down and watch it myself.
Yeah. So as a communist, when you look at Bernie, do you almost want even him to push the envelope further with his policies as a socialist? Are you like, this is my guy?
I think for now he's definitely my guy, because I don't know. I would like him to push it, but I think this is the best we can do for now.
So like it's like part of you has an ounce of that, like you got to play the politics for like in you.
Exactly. You have to be. Yeah.
You have a different threshold for it.
Yeah, I have a personal threshold, but I can, he's already doing a great big. He's already doing a big deal, a great big deal. So just got to ride with that for now.
Yeah, I feel like I have a higher acceptance rate of like people playing politics than you.
Yeah. It
wouldn't be exciting if we were the same person. That's what makes a good podcast. Different viewpoints.
Exactly. Oh, I was gonna say on the topic of Twitter for our listeners, our friend Abel Padilla is just getting into a lot of trouble on Twitter.
Wait, was there more besides his thing with Kendrick Perkins, or is that it?
I think that might be it, but our friend Abel just getting into arguments of NBA players.
Yeah, you wouldn't have found that out if I didn't send it to you. The only reason I was able to send it to you is because I actively follow people on Twitter.
That was amazing. You were definitely man.
You got to pick your community. What would be the communities that you follow?
This is how ignorant I am. I don't even know there's like is there like communities, or are you just using that just as
It's not
reference?
organized. It's not organized by community, but if you follow a certain person, you'll see what other people they retweet, or you'll see what they like, and then that leads you to following another person, and then the community just gets created. Like, I've seen tweets from, like, I kind of follow certain political people, so I've seen tweets from congressmen that tweet a lot, and I always think like, oh, I follow this guy, but then I realize, oh, I don't follow this guy. I just follow people that are like constantly retweeting or liking his stuff. So you don't necessarily have to like follow, like you don't necessarily have to like, fully understand who to follow within a topic, but it all just kind of gets to you. What would your topics be?
I guess before the show ended, I would have followed Game of Thrones related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now that it's over, I don't know.
Maybe you do
Giants.
some football, some like baseball Twitter, football Twitter.
Yeah.
NBA Twitter is the best because of how big the personalities are. It turns
some
into
hilarious things. Yeah, I've heard some funny things of like, NBA players arguing with each other.
Yeah.
People giving like fighting with fans and stuff. I heard some pretty funny things.
I mean, there's also video game stuff too. That's definitely one that you would follow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I'm sure there's a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess using Twitter to follow gaming news and like what's new.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way to go. Do you follow the esports?
No, I don't. I feel like I would be the person who would, but
they make so much like there's like a multi-episode profile of the UC Irvine League of Legends team, and it's on ESPN.
So okay, yeah. I gotta dive into this.
Pretty big.
I gotta dive into this for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah. For 5 minutes.
Just search UC Irvine esports ESPN, and they're like 30-minute episodes. It talks about team drama, guys that like they bench their best player because he's mean to everybody. Yeah. This one guy's just like not performing well because he's a little sensitive to everything around his life, and it's throwing off his like League of Legends skills. Yeah.
I met this dude in the Subtle Asian Traits group, and he went to UC Irvine. So UC Irvine has this new building that was built, I think, several years ago, where it's essentially like this computer lab that's dedicated to esports.
Yeah.
So it's got all these like gaming chairs, accessories, and gaming rigs and all that. And apparently this guy is saying that UC Irvine actually offers scholarships to people for esports. So if you're good at playing games, I think you get half of your tuition paid for. So it's legit.
Yeah, all those guys on the ESPN thing, scholarship.
It's crazy.
And they're able to, you know how football players aren't able to profit off their likeness because they're amateurs?
Yeah.
But they're allowed to profit off their likeness. So they're allowed to start a YouTube channel, make money off their YouTube channel. Yeah.
It's definitely progressive.
Like they were allowed. I mean, obviously the nerdy white and Asian do it before you know what, that's once again.
Wait, you have to explain it to me because I'm not getting
before, it. They're not like it's taken decades to allow, black men to profit off of their likeness. Like they're not allowed to sign autographs. and make money off of signing on.
Yeah. The NC, you're talking about NCAA athletes.
Yeah. But the esports, even though they give scholarships, it's not part of. I guess it's not part of NCAA. So they were hypothetically they could just go sign autographs and make thousands of dollars as UC Irvine athletes before people in an athletic realm that has existed for decades, centuries, are able to do it. You know,
isn't that crazy?
It's the optics of it. You know, once again, it's black men taking forever for them to finally. I feel like they're going to be able to profit their likeness like this year or next year or something. But it's taken decades and decades and decades. But like, of course, these like gamers are already able to do that. It's like, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
our people are already allowed to do it.
Our people, my people.
Yeah, it's because we're very responsible. We respect authority. We're obedient.
It's kind of weird in gaming because it's usually like people who are really good gamers. It usually starts off as like an individual. Like that player is really good. And then you have a team of like really solid individual players, and all these players usually have their own like Twitch streams, YouTubes. They have their own fan bases, and when in gaming tournaments, obviously you win some kind of money. So
yeah,
it's an interesting balance between like you have to promote the school, but at the same time there's like really tangible individual benefits.
Yeah, it's like they're allowed to compete in professional gaming, whereas a football player is not allowed to do like let's do a throwing competition. Whoever throws the football accurately for the most amount of yards wins $2,000. Like, no, you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to. Who was the guy that was like,
you're an amateur?
Was it Jameis Winston or whatever? Who was like, someone at Ohio State? Was it the tattoo thing or something like that? There's some story regarding
signing memorabilia. And then there's also a tattoo thing. Yeah.
And Reggie Bush like got a car or some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Just man.
Do you watch like Twitch and YouTube for that kind of stuff?
What, for like gaming?
Yeah.
Sometimes Twitch, but like I said, I don't follow esports. I don't know the personalities.
Yeah. I saw that you were playing Warcraft. What were you playing before we started talking? Modern Warfare?
Oh, Three Kingdoms.
Total War. I should buy a new Total War game. I always thought that Rome Total War was like the tits. So I'd want to see what the new stuff looks like.
Definitely should.
Yeah.
It's, what was on your list? Now I'm really interested about what you had in mind. In store.
My list?
Yeah. Didn't you say like you had a list of talking points?
Well, the list was all the stuff we kind of talked about, like slapping a sign on a business, Twitter, social media, confronting someone versus ignoring someone, and then like music festival type. It was all kind of in that white label realm. I feel like the thing was like, it was when we were first talking about this idea, it was a humorous thing. And then, but like once we started recording it, we had to take it a little more seriously. Just given the nature of it.
You're absolutely right. Given the nature of what we're dealing with. Yeah. I don't know if I could laugh. I can only laugh like about a joke, but then it's like, that there's serious undertones.
Yeah. Like when we're in a bar, like it's like a different setting. We're drinking beer, hanging out. It's different. Yeah. Yeah.
What was that thing your friend was saying? Remember you were telling that story about you went to that birthday, like for Bit and Rice one, you're saying like, or two, I think you said your friend's birthday party, and they wanted to, you guys organized a circle where the guy wanted to talk about deep topics or some shit.
Yeah.
Was this inspiration like Parisian cafes or something?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly.
They should have that in SF where it's a safe space for important topics.
Yeah, that actually would probably, because there would definitely be some outspoken native liberal types, and then and then there would be the guys like the guy I described, the tech guy who reads a lot of self-help or like professional development, who would want to go to this space. So there'd be like the outgoing tech guy and then the outgoing native.
Outgoing native, yeah.
It would just be like,
that would be bad, actually. The community activist native SF person.
Yeah, and then the tech guy who reads a lot of nothing.
Oh God, actually,
growing yourself.
Thinking
like
about
your boss, right? Well, he's not a tech guy, but he's in that. He has that ethos.
I think he has that. Yeah, that ethos about him. But I'm also thinking there's that MAGA. There's probably a MAGA guy.
Yeah, just MAGA guy. Yeah. It'd be like he'd kind of be an activist too, because he's being like the wedding crasher to this super liberal French inspired thing. And then he'll come in and disrupt the whole function and wear his hat.
And be like, yo, this is free speech, make America great again.
Yeah, instigator. He's just the instigator.
Playing the victim. Like, why are you talking shit about my hat? This is free speech. This is America.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Someone's gonna get shot at one of these things, Ryan. I don't know.
That would be an interesting project, though.
It would.
I'll just bring a camera crew. Because I watched. I went to the SF MoMA, and in like the film and video section, there is this artist who filmed a lot of just open discussion. So she would just stage stuff. She just staged a whole beach area and set up tables and just brought like a bunch of elderly women to like sit at the tables and just talk about what it's like being an elderly woman.
And were these interactions real, or are they like scripted?
Yeah, they're just all complete strangers, and she just like documented.
That's cool.
Black woman, white woman, whatever, and just like sharing their experiences. And then she also like rented out like a big, like either like a Hollywood lot. I think she probably rented out like a Hollywood stage lot, but like basically put in like home decor. It almost felt like an IKEA, the IKEA display area.
I like those areas. They look nice.
Yeah, put up a bunch of home decor. And then she just like invited hundreds of women to just go into that home. And then they formed their own circle. And then she just had camera crews documenting their different conversations. Put it all together. It's like an interesting art piece. Like I feel like that would be a good piece for San Francisco. Just to have that circle.
Yeah. Provided no one dicks a gun and like shoots people,
Yeah, exactly.
I think it'd be really interesting just having there's probably going to be like factions of like all the Trump people sit over here just by default, like all the liberals sit here, but
yeah,
they should definitely have a space where like someone sits down and like start debating or whatever.
Yeah, just like a vacant space, set up some chairs. Just only invite like 12, 15 people, whatever. And then it's just like, go for it.
Yeah. That'd be cool, actually.
Yeah. All right, I have a climate change related death.
Are we wrapping up with climate change related death?
Yeah, I wrote it out. So buckle up.
I've got my seat buckled.
Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I think this was a really spontaneous but robust discussion we had.
Before I start, the guy who's gonna die is inspired. I went to a comedy show yesterday.
Ooh, how was that?
It was nice. It was at the Punchline, so it was cool to go to the Punchline before they have to like change locations. You know how they're gonna have to like shut down,
closing for actually.
They're not. They're closing their like Battery Street location, but they're gonna go to a different property. So it was cool to go there one last time. Have you been there?
No, but I heard like all these stars were trying to save it or whatever, something like that.
Me and you should go. Just pick a day. Just do a little mandate.
Dude, I remember that one time we went to the improv comedy so many years ago. That was fun.
Yeah, Fort Mason. Huh? Yeah, that's a cool troop. I wonder if they're still doing it. But yeah, me and you should go before they close.
All right, I'll have to take a look.
We have some time. Yeah, you just look at their lineup and see what interests you. The guy that we saw was Political. That actually would have been pretty good for you. But
what was her or his name?
It was he's not a local, but he's been here forever, and his wife is a native. His name's Will Durst.
Will Durst, wow.
Will Durst, yeah. He was very funny. Will Durst is an American political satirist. He's been called a modern mix of Mort Saul and Will Rogers.
What's the format like? Like stand up, or was it like he was
it's
sitting?
All stand up. Yeah, it's all stand up.
Nice.
I believe the New York Times once called him the best political comic. But I know how you feel about it.
I feel about what?
The New York Times.
Oh yeah. Fuck them.
But at the comedy show, there's these two tech bros who, like, when you go to a comedy show, you get seated randomly. And, sometimes, like, a comedian's like, oh, I want these kind of people in the front row so I can pick on them. Other times, it's just random. I feel like this was random. There were these two tech bros who were, like, front and center. And they just kept talking the whole show. They kept, like after every joke, like, they would have to, like, make a comment to each other.
Like interrupting, or like that was part of the shtick?
No, it was interrupting, but they weren't talking that loud. Like, we couldn't hear them because we were like a little farther back. But I'm sure that the stand-up act could hear them kind of whispering, you know.
Oh, gotcha.
And at one point, like, one of the staff members had to tell them this. But they also, like, you know how at comedy shows people like call out from the audience once in a while, and then it kind of gives the entertainer a little content to like respond to or pick on them about and stuff.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of that. They were kind of like there with the intention of like trying to interact with the performers as much as like a lot.
Like hecklers or whatever.
It's like, yeah, like not hecklers, but like people who want to like participate, you know, instead of let them do their material. You know, like the guy once in a while would like stand up and clap. Like by the end. And,
how obnoxious.
Yeah. So this is a guy that's gonna die. in a climate change related death. It's gonna be his story. I'll try to read it smoothly. I wrote it in like a narrative way.
Perfect.
And if I mess up, we can fix it though. All right. Here we go. And never an opinion left unexpressed. Silicon Valley salaryman in his mid-20s with a Stephen Miller haircut spent last night talking over stand-up comedy performances with his good buddy. After maintaining his Lyft reputation as a good conversationalist, he said goodbye to his colored person interaction of the day, unzipped his fleece sweater. Well, I think I wanted it to be a fleece vest. So he unzipped his fleece vest, his khakis with ass cheese he remained unaware of, and his untucked white button down. And he went to sleep without brushing. He woke up to the emergency alarm system. His and other apartments of the Lower Pacific Heights district were being flooded past the third story. Before scrambling to the roof, he threw on his bathrobe and scaled the fire exit to the roof of his complex. Water from the hurricane nearing the roof and inanimate objects whizzing by ears. He scaled the apartment building next to him, higher ground. The water unrelenting. It was necessary for him and other residents to scale the next building. One man was not going to even make it clear of the first building. The whirlpools, suction approaching him. He was too far down for our character, Brett, to reach. A suggestion was offered by the man. Use the belt on your bathrobe to reach me. Brett Brett tightened the belt instead of using it and left him for dead and began his way to the next ascent. He tightened his belt as a way to taunt the dead man, and gracefully dodging a flying stop sign, he laughed as he began to climb the next building. He continued to laugh as he neared the top of the 10-story high-rise. But just as he exhaled his last smug breath of entitlement and unbeknownst saliva stank from his unbrushed teeth, a spinning pickaxe from a neighborhood yard being blown through the hurricane latched onto his tightly secured bathrobe belt and yanked him violently to his screaming, climate change-related death. I don't know how comprehensible that was.
That was written extremely well. I just wanted to let you know.
I hand wrote it, so it was kind of hard to read at times, but yeah. Did you understand? Were you able to comprehend the story? I wasn't sure in the moment. I feel like I had to stop a lot.
Well, it was just written really well, I think. This individual fell to his death after trying to grapple onto something.
Yeah, he woke up. You know how like people sleep in their underwear or whatever. Yeah. There's a violent hurricane in San Francisco due to climate change. All he can manage to do is put on his bathrobe and climb to the roof of his apartment. And then their apartment is about to be overtaken by water, so they have to climb onto the apartment next door because it's higher. He makes it to the next apartment. There's a guy that's not going to make it, and he's going to get sucked into the violent waters. So he says, "Oh, use the belt on your bathrobe to pull me up." And then he's just like, "No, there's not enough time." And he tightens his bathrobe, and then he has to climb to the next building. And then just as he's about to make it, the bathrobe belt backfires, and a flying object clings onto his belt and yanks him off the building and into the hurricane waters. Dies.
That's poetic justice for our tech bro.
Yeah, poetic justice for our man Brett. Dead.
For our or damn interrupter.
Mm-hmm. That's what he gets.
Oh.
Are you able to act in a short film next weekend? Are you free?
Oh, I'm free on Sunday because, yes, Saturday is my mom's birthday, so I will be busy.
Oh, happy birthday. Your birthday is close to your mom's birthday.
Yeah, it's like it's the weekend after. Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Actually, that's really trippy because you just gave me the sudden realization that was the case. I'm like, now I'm kind of afraid.
You're just kind of in the moment.
Like, oh, wait, shit.
These past 28 years or 27 years, you've just been kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
But now it's hit you.
It's hit me like it was your birthday and then it's my birthday, but now you put it into context. We're just a week apart. Scary.
Yeah, man, just a week. So you can perform on a Sunday.
I can perform on a Sunday.
All right, let's shoot some stuff next Sunday. Is
Totally.
it okay if it's like? Well, I guess it doesn't have to be night. I kind of want it to be dark. Kind of how I saw it, but we could just turn off all the lights or something. We'll figure it out.
Is this a personal thing or a project?
Project, but I want to use it personally.
Oh.
Probably put it on Rice. There's another film that I'll try to put on Rice soon.
Nice.
We're going.
I also want to eventually play the part of just a random NPC.
What's that NPC?
NPC.
You're laughing. I don't know what you mean.
Well, the joke is, NPC stands for non-playable characters, so it's just like, and it comes from like a video game context. Just like random characters who just stand there and do nothing.
It's like in Grand Theft Auto when you just like decide to punch some lady.
Yeah, like a punch a random person on the street. So,
ow! What the hell, man? And then you like just keep punching him.
That was a great. Oh my! These are great sound effects. Holy shit!
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, I can also end with like my debate. After watching the debate, I just kept doing like a Democratic debate imitation. You know how there's like freaking 20 candidates, 10 candidates at a time.
Yeah.
So here's my debate imitation is yep. Excuse me, no, Mr. No, Senator, no.
Like,
Senator Warren. If you could just let me just let me finish. No, that's my summary of the debate. Oh, yeah.
That's really good.
Mr. Vice President. Vice President Biden. But
you remind me of that dude in Office Space. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, the guy
with the glasses.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of people like, your time, your 45 seconds is up, sir.
Time's up. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
My God, that's good.
America.
Yeah, but write me into a role where I just stand there, but I'm in the camera.
Okay.
I'm just standing there.
I'll do that. I'll definitely do that.
I want to be the best NPC, the best bystander out there. Like I want to be able to get an Academy Award for just standing and being an onlooker or just a passerby or whatever.
Yeah, well, Sunday I'm going to ask you to do a little bit more than that. You're going to have to bare your soul.
Wow. So, are you going to tell me the details now, or am I you're going to leave me at a week of guessing and?
I have a song that you are going to sing along to.
I don't know whether to be excited or dreadful.
Harvest Moon.
Oh, that's Neil Young, right?
Yeah.
Or was that CNY, whatever?
Oh, yeah, it's Neil Young. I want to have an audio recording because you're a singer. You were in choir in high school. You're a singer.
Thanks.
So I want you to sing along. Or I want you to sing Harvest Moon a cappella.
Well,
could you do that? And
now
then
you'll know.
It?
Well, this entire week that's the only song I'm gonna play on Spotify.
All right, because I want to have a recording of your a cappella singing of Harvest Moon, to play on the loudspeaker when we're shooting the film.
Okay, well, I'll have to rise to the occasion.
All right. Yeah. Because we can't, like I said, the restriction for my class is there's no sync sound dialogue.
Sync sound dialogue?
What's that? Like basically we can't have anybody speaking in the frame.
Oh, yeah, with their mouth moving.
The workaround is singing and then also just lip singing along to whatever's playing.
Gotcha.
So, but it's also forced me to think of like weird creative ways to depict a song. So,
It's dope.
works. Yeah. Works.
I'll be looking forward to this.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Flexing my vocal folds.
Yeah.
We might have to do a karaoke session just to let me practice.
Yeah. Wow, that was a good hour and a half podcast. Hour 40. You want to sign us off? Because we started at 7:40, 9:20.
Yeah,
This is a massive podcast.
Yeah. It was very fun, actually. Very natural, because you didn't come in really with a structure.
Yeah, I feel like this is, I'm very proud of this one.